Tuesday. Today is a mom video, and today's video is all about C-section, emergency C-sections, planned C-sections, why you get them, how it happens, everything that happens in the operating room, in post-op, recovery. I'm gonna talk about nutrition and also how you work out and how to get your body back. So this is just gonna be from start to finish, everything you need to know about C-sections. If you are ever worried about getting one, this is the video for you. I've had a lot of questions about how it was. As you guys know, it is so different than having a normal birth. I'm gonna talk about all the nitty-gritty of what happens after, really what really truly happens after, and let's get into it now. For those of you who are new here, my name is Samantha. This is my son Hendrix, and he was almost 10 pounds when he was born. He was 9.5 pounds. Are you happy to be on camera? So let's first talk about why. Why do you get a C-section? So in some cases you get a C-section because your baby is too big. Ta-da! It depends on the hospitals. A lot of hospitals, they say if your baby is projected to be over 10 pounds, you automatically get scheduled for a C-section. Now, because he was 9.4 at my last ultrasound, which was about half a week before he was born, he did not qualify for a C-section to be planned. And so, as if you guys haven't seen my video, I had to be induced because I had cholestasis of the liver at 40 weeks pregnant. And so if you have not seen that video, I'm gonna put it right up here. My birth story, we have the birth vlog as well. And so I needed to be induced, he needed to come out, and he was too big and got basically stuck. I didn't even get to pushing, and I had to get an emergency C-section at 3 a.m. There are many other reasons why somebody would need to get Hendrix. There are many reasons why somebody would need to get a C-section, whether it's emergency or not, whether like him, your baby is too big, or you have complications with your pregnancy, you have twins, your body is made a certain way. That happened to my grandmother. Her basin was made a certain way. She could not have kids naturally. There are many reasons why, and so that is the why you get them. Emergency is a little bit more stressful, obviously, because it's not a part of your birth plan, obviously. Yeah. And so, yeah, so those are the main reasons why you get them. Again, I'm not a medical professional, so don't take my words as a medical professional would say, but these are the terms and knowledge that I have about C-sections. Another reason you would get a C-section is if you already had one, and so you have the choice to either have another one or try for a VBAC, which is when you try to have a natural child after having a C-section. There are many people that are successful at doing it. Personally, I would opt for getting another C-section because I am prone to having big babies and I am very, very small. So that's my personal opinion. Again, everybody's story is different. And so I just want to share with you guys what I've been through with that in case you guys are worried about getting one. This is the video for you. Let's continue. So now that we've covered the why, now I'm going to tell you guys the how. So what happens when they decide, boom, you're having a C-section? Guys, I remember the moment that this happened to me. I was petrified, calm, and I saw the look in Evan's eyes, and he had wished, he was like, I just hope you don't have to get a C-section, because he knew that it is a major surgery. And so when we got the news that it would happen and the doctor called it, it was kind of a very bittersweet moment. We knew we'd meet our son, but at the same time that I'd be going through major surgery. I did have the epidural beforehand just in case, because I anticipated needing a C-section. And so this is what happens when they call it a go. They basically say, we're gonna need to do an emergency C-section. They leave, they come back with paperwork. You sign certain paperwork. I don't even remember what I signed. You just sign it because you want your baby. But it's typical liability papers. You get that going. They make you pack up your room. Again, this is my hospital. It is my experience. They make you pack up your room because there's a special room for C-section. It's much smaller. It's easier for everything to be reached because you will not be able to walk and you will not even be allowed to leave your bed. So you pack up your room, your husband packs up the room, your husband gets a pair of scrubs, He goes and gets changed. He comes back. You have a bunch of people plugging a bunch of stuff into you. They change your bed. They roll you out. Your husband's with you. So they get you in the operating room, and then once that happens, they put you on this tiny, tiny, tiny table, the operating table. They lay you out kind of like Jesus with each arm on each side. They strap you down. And because I already had the epidural, they just had the same injection spot. All they had to take is my tube, and then they put a block instead of an epidural, which a block is kind of like a stronger version of it. Again, don't quote me on this. I am not a medical professional. I just want to tell you guys exactly what happens. So once they put that in, they say it takes a couple minutes for you to completely not feel anything. They poke you with a needle. They put a drape, obviously, so that you can't see yourself be cut open. Yeah. And so they poke you with a needle. The first time they poked me, I said, the reason why I know they poke you with a needle is because the first time they poked me, I felt it. And I said, why are you poking me with a needle? And then they all laughed and they were like, okay, let's wait a bit more. Again, the dynamic was very, very chill because my anesthesiologist was my doctor's husband. And they were playing jazz. It was a very, very calm, chill environment. Literally a normal day at work for them. And so I took it as a normal day at work for me. And I was very chill. I spoke to them the entire time. You are fully awake. You can ask questions. I told them asking questions makes me more comfortable. I'm gonna put a clip of that right now.
Hi. It's really not that bad.
You were a trooper, honestly.
Now I feel them.
You're gonna feel stretchy
Oh.
now, okay?
Oh. Oh my god. Are you pushing the baby out?
No, not yet.
Breathe, baby.
You're
Breathe.
trying to
Breathe.
get
It's going to
through?
be much more pressure when the baby comes out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so before baby comes out, they actually put a
You're gonna
lot
feel
of pressure
stretching again,
on your
run through
upper
it.
abdomen.
Ah, you're taking.
As you guys saw, I was talking the whole time. My husband was beside me. He was allowed to film none of the doctor's faces, obviously. And they tell you when they're about to go ahead and go. They say once we start, it takes about 20 minutes total for the entire procedure. And so you do not feel anything, you only feel pressure, as if somebody is pressing on you, until they say that they're trying to press for the baby to come out. It feels like somebody's giving you CPR. They press really, really hard on your belly. It's like you could probably see in that video, I go, woo! Like it surprised me. But there is absolutely no pain, which is super enjoyable. And then the next thing that you hear is your baby crying. You hope that is like the number one thing. Yes, you want to hear your baby crying. So once I heard him crying, a tear came down my face. I was so happy, guys. And that's it. So that is the actual procedure itself. It's much less scary than what people say. Again, it is a surgery. It comes with its risks. But if you have, again, the block and you are not being put under anesthesia, that's how it is. The environment is what you make it. So if you do not stress and you let your body just be cut open and them do their job, and that is just how it happened for me. Now that you know the how it happens, let's jump to the recovery. All right, so we are now here with baby. Both dogs are with me. I can't do anything alone in this house. And so let's go ahead with the recovery. When you are done the surgery, basically they take the baby, cut the umbilical cord, and once they make sure that everything's fine, they make you hold him and everything's good, they take him away and they make the father go up with the baby. Now the baby could do, the father can do, you guys are so cute. So the father can do skin to skin, and basically the father gets a couple hours alone with the baby because post-op can take up to 2 hours. For me, it took about 2 hours. I only went in to see him at around 5 o'clock in the morning, and the surgery was about at 3. What they do is they close you up. That's the longest part of the surgery. They have to basically put back your organs all in their place. As you guys know, when you are pregnant, everything gets pushed aside and they're removing that. and then when they take the uterus out, it actually leaves a wound in your body. If you can picture it, it's like kind of like they rip out your uterus, and then around it needs to heal. There's a lot of inflammation because it was taken out surgically, and there's a lot of inflammation in your organs as well because everything's being tossed around. Yeah, they put all that back together. Now, many women have had this happen to them. Hold on. No! Hendrix! Okay. Guys, between the dog and he just pulled down the camera, here we are. Oh my god, now it's lower. I gotta fix it, Hendrix. Once the baby is gone and you are taken off that table, you're put into a bed, many women have told me they had the same reaction that I did, which was to go in complete shock. Not mentally, but your body goes into a shock. So I was perfectly fine, and I was excited to meet my baby. They told me I had to wait first. My body started shaking, and not just shaking like this, shaking like this. Like The Exorcist. It was really, really scary. I did not know. Nobody ever told me this could happen. So you have been like warned if you see this. It's not bad or anything, but it's just something that you think is not normal. And then everybody walking by you is just watching you shake basically in your bed, and it's super normal. So your body goes into this type of shock because of all the drugs, the adrenaline, the stress. So your body starts having these like spasms and shaking. I couldn't even drink water. I was literally like, they had to give me water and I was shaking like this. They try to put a heated blanket on you. They try to give you water. They monitor your pressure. My pressure went down a couple times. I felt like I was fading out a couple times, and I even told him, I'm like, woo, like I'm fading out. I'm fading out of consciousness. But it's totally normal. And that took about 2 hours. I kept asking, can I go see my baby? Can I go see my baby? Can I go see my baby? Finally, 2 hours out, they say, no problem. I had stopped shaking, and they brought me upstairs. They wheeled me up, and I finally got to see my baby, which he had been for 2 hours with his father. I was just so happy to see him, honestly. The pain, you don't feel anything right away. So they ask you also, can you feel this? Can you feel this? Can you move your leg? They try to make sure that you're not paralyzed. That's another thing. And that's super normal as well, because you do sign discharge papers for the epidural anyways. And so once you are upstairs, you get to see your baby. Great times, but we're gonna keep it focused on the C-section only. What they do is they basically come explain to you that you will not be able to walk for the next 48 hours. You are not allowed to get out of bed. They say that they explain to you the pills you're gonna get. So I got, I don't know why I'm saying amoxicillin, that's not that, but I got naproxen and Tylenol. Basically very simple. Naproxen is kind of like Aleve. It's a really strong pain reliever, but like not that strong. Basically strong Advil and Tylenol to go through major surgery because you're breastfeeding, so you can't take much. Don't eat the... That is what happens. They say that it is easier to manage your pain if you keep your pain management meds up and you don't wait till you are in pain before you take them. So they explain to you why you're taking those pain meds, because although you think that you are not in pain, you are in pain. So that is super important. The injections are for your blood not to clot, because you will not be moving for the next 48 hours. So those are not super painful, but they're not super fun. It's just like an injection. And they put you compression socks on. Actually, they're up to my thighs for me. That again is to not get any blood clots. And so you're 48 hours on bed rest. That's why I started sleeping with him, because I wanted to be able to, you know, take him and change him sides and stuff, and you're not allowed to walk. And so that is everything that has to do with the post-op. Then they tell you you could take a shower after 48 hours. I chose to wait to go home before I took a shower. You also have one of those, what are they called? To go pee. You cannot go to the bathroom. You need one of those things that I forget the term. I'll write it up here, but I forgot that term. You need one of those to go to the bathroom because you cannot get up. The first time you go to the bathroom is really painful, not because of that tube, just because walking is so difficult. That is what you have to expect once you're in that delivery room. You cannot lift up anything. Like, it's just painful overall. It's kind of like, it literally feels like someone cut your abs, because that's what they do. That has to do with the hospital recovery. Now for the at-home recovery. So yes, at the hospital, it is super painful, but the most pain you're really gonna feel is at home, because that's when you're trying to do stuff, getting in and out of the car. You can't drive because if you were to get in an accident, your insides could just blurt out of your scar. I know this is like really not fun to hear, but that's the truth. I want to keep it real on here. What I would recommend, what my doctors told me, is the sooner you walk, the sooner you will recover. And they told me don't try to work out too early. So the theory behind that is that if you do get hurt, it takes you longer to recover after. So what I did is I walked, and then I went on little walks, and I tried to do little things every day. Now, it is really difficult if you are the type of woman that usually does everything. Like I have no limits to what I do. And so it's really hard to feel like you cannot do stuff. And then you also have hormones from obviously giving birth, and postpartum depression is just creeping up on you because it happens pretty much to everyone. So you really feel like a net zero after a C-section. That's how I felt. Again, I've spoken to other women, they also felt like that. You can't do anything. Like you're like, I might as well be in a wheelchair, you know what I mean? So that's for the whole like mental aspect of it. And excuse my dog, he just likes to get his paw. So for that, I would recommend to just walk as much as possible, going up and down the stairs really slowly, being kind to your body, letting your body heal. For the scar, I can't show my scar personally. I know a lot of women share their scar on like social media. I don't know if it's how my body is made, but my scar is too low. It is an inch below my bikini, which ends up being my pubic bone and my pubic hair. Like even if I'm shaved, you can still tell it's my pubic area. So I will not be able to show it, but your scar, they leave paper on it. I left it on for the days they recommended. I think it was 7. Then I took them off in the shower. I kept the area clean, but I did not disinfect it. All I did is wash it with soap and water. Nothing specific. I didn't put any toppings on it, nothing. I just let it air out, and I wore loose clothing. So that's for the scar. My scar looks good. It's a little bit red. It's just like thick. I mean, it's not invisible. I didn't get any staples in. It was a running suture, I think it's called, and melt away, so I didn't need to get anything taken out. That is what has to do with the scar. Now, when it comes to getting your body back, as you guys may know or may not know, after you get a lot of inflammation, you also get a lot of gas from everything being so full of inflammation. And so it is really hard to move or work out or do anything to get your body back. I'm gonna put a picture here. I've showed this picture before, 1 or 2 pictures of what I looked like after. So look at that, and keep in mind, I literally looked 6 months pregnant after I gave birth. And that's why time is really your #1 thing here. And I would say nutrition is so important if you've had a C-section, because you cannot work out. If you eat like crap, you cannot work those calories off, but you're also breastfeeding. If you're not, that's okay, that's fine too. You need to eat well, and you need to like give your body the proper fuel. Mindful eating has been a journey that I've been on with Evan, and even prior to being with Evan, I've been on a mindful eating journey where my relationship with food is that I eat to make myself feel good. I don't eat out of just pleasure because I like the taste of sugar, for example. I try to eat things that'll make me feel good. And by doing that, you don't really need to work out to go back to your pre-pregnancy weight, just because your body is healing itself and draining everything it needs to do. And speaking of draining, you still have blood that goes out. You still have a lot of things leaking. I didn't have to wear a diaper, but I did wear little pads. You still, again, you have blood coming out and other type of mucus, because you have, like what I said before, you have a wound inside. When they take out your uterus, you have a lot of stuff that comes out. And so it's not because you don't have a baby vaginally that you do not have anything that comes out. I think for me, I was leaking for around 6 to 7 weeks after. So fun fact, there's that. Hey, all that work we do to get you guys. It took a long time for me to be able to work out, which is why I truly relied on my nutrition to bounce back, as they say. Again, your body will never be the same, and it doesn't need to, because you are who you are at that moment in time. And I think it's just beautiful that you had a baby. So I wouldn't call it bouncing back, but I would call it like losing all the excess baby weight that you had through nutrition. As for workouts, once you've been cleared, or it's been, I think I started working out 4 months after, little light workouts or workouts that revolve around your legs and not around your abs. So that's what I recommend for you guys. I wanted to do maybe a postpartum C-section workout. I do a mix of Tabitha workout. If you do not know what that is, Tabitha is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. It's a type of HIIT workout that I did. And I do yoga. So yoga is a really gentle way of making your body active without hurting it, through breathing and through just sweating from doing those stretches. So that's super important, and that is how I do it. Again, I'm not regular with my workout. I rely much more on my nutrition. And so that might be one of the next videos we're gonna do, is a little family-friendly workout, post-C-section workout. But again, I wouldn't stress too much about working out after a C-section. Your abs do not work at all. That is that for everything that has to do with a C-section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit long, but I really wanted to cover everything that I know about C-section. Again, if you are worried about getting one, don't be. It is really, really not as bad as people make it out to be. The recovery is obviously different, but it is totally worth it, and it's super not stressful, guys. It is what you make it. It's one challenge at a time, and with that being said, look at the great prize you get at the end. Eh? Yeah. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much to those who have made it to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, consider subscribing if you like our content. And we will catch you guys on Thursday with an update about our growth on our channel. You say bye? Can you say bye to them? You say bye. Say bye.